convertible.
Allegra D, strong relief for your allergy symptoms. Guaranteed or your money back. Visit Allegra.com. Use only as directed.
Controlled? Well, maybe. Chaos? Definitely. Tune in weekday mornings, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. for Controlled Chaos with Gary Garver, Jigga, Dave, and Mary Tonga. KCAA 1050 AM. You have to hear it to believe it.
And good afternoon. It is 12:02. I'm Di Rice with the only live local news here in the Inland Empire, KCAA 1050 AM. Police have arrested 2 suspects in the gunshot wounding of a 30-year-old Hemet man. The victim underwent surgery after being shot April 21st in what police believe was an attempt to steal the victim's car. Police detained Albert Chico Ramirez during a pedestrian check Friday. He was booked for investigation of possessing or transporting at least an ounce of drugs, discharging a firearm, and violating probation. 22-year-old Ricardo Jesus Ramirez was found the next day and arrested and booked for investigation of attempted murder, discharging a firearm resulting in great bodily injury, being a felon in possession of a gun, and violating parole. Investigators are still attempting to identify and locate a third suspect described as a Hispanic female adult with tattoos on her face. Anyone with additional information is encouraged to call police at 951-765-2400. And 3 people died yesterday morning and 3 others were hurt in a crash involving 2 cars on Interstate 15 southwest of Baker. A 7-year-old boy, Jaden Marroquin, was ejected onto the shoulder and killed. Wilmer Bernal and Henry Diaz, both 26, died at the scene. 2 air ambulances flew survivors to area hospitals. The car involving the fatalities veered across the center divider and collided head-on with an oncoming car. Both drivers survived. And yesterday, a Grand Terrace resident, 27-year-old Hector Leyva, began fleeing from deputies at a residence in Riverside. While Leyva was running, he threw a long object from his waistband, later found to be a hatchet. Deputies caught Leyva, and he was taken into custody without incident. Deputies had been looking for Leyva, who was said to be brandishing a firearm Saturday in his Grand Terrace neighborhood. Leyva was booked into Central Detention Center for felon in possession of a firearm, terrorist threats, and a concealed weapon with a bail amount of $100,000. Inland Empire weather looks like this: sunny and very nice outside right now. Beautiful, beautiful day. Highs expected to reach about 90 degrees. Overnight dropping down to about 57 degrees. Right now, we are at about 85 degrees here in the Inland Empire. Looking at your drive, you do have that road construction going on in Moreno Valley on the 60 eastbound between Theodore and Gilman Springs Road, and the traffic is backed up to Redlands Boulevard. Also in Riverside, construction on the 91 freeway, the westbound side between Tyler and La Sierra. Again, that right lane is closed. Construction's going on there till 3. Otherwise, you've got slow traffic on the 91 eastbound between Lincoln and Grand Boulevard. And that is the very latest in news, weather, and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
Fridays just got fabulous. Don't forget to reserve a seat in the Happy Hour Lounge with Ben and Alexander every Friday at 6 p.m. on KCAA 1050 AM.
This is Elaine McFadden inviting you to join me for Smart Health Talk on Thursdays, 4 to 5 p.m. right here on KCAA Radio 1050 AM. Smart Health Talk offers the kind of information that can save your life and save you money, making sure you're getting the biggest Smart Health bang for your buck. We'll keep you up to date on the latest in nutrition, health, and what it takes to keep your home safe for you and your family. Remember, tune in every Thursday, 4 to 5 p.m. for Smart Health Talk, KCAA Radio 1050 AM.
Roll down the window, throw out a $100 bill to get the effect of what's going on. The truth is that driving a used car is what the average millionaire does. That's how they became a millionaire.
Sacrifice, determination.
You can be intentional about your character, your work ethic.
You've got to be on the same page.
Today we're calling to let you know we are debt-free, house and everything.
You have done really, really, really good. And you're not going to quit now.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people.
Celebrate the success.
Thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Felicia starts off this hour in Austin, Texas. Hi, Felicia. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing fine, Dave. I'm getting a little bit antsy, but here goes.
Okay.
Let me tell you my situation. Okay. I'm married. My husband and I have been married for 18 years. We're debt free. We're contributing 15% of our income towards retirement. We have combined income of $138. Mm-hmm. I think our emergency fund is too, has too much money in it. It's fully funded.
How much does it have in it? How much?
$26,000.
Okay.
We owe $112 on our mortgage. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to convince my husband to take that $10,000, put it towards the house.
What $10,000? So
that we have an emergency fund.
Okay. The emergency fund should be 3 to 6 months of household expenses.
Right. Which is $16,000.
So that's 3 months, right?
Oh, it is?
I'm guessing.
Well, I'm thinking the $16,000 is the 6 months, 3 to 6 months.
Well, I don't know what you're counting. I mean, if you'd have to stop retirement savings. I mean, if you, I don't know how much other money. Anyway, so you think your household expenses are $2,000, $3,000?
Well, I my mortgage is $1,367 a month, and it takes us, and we can run off of $1,367 plus $866 a month.
And that's food, lights, insurance.
You better believe it. Yep.
Gasoline for the cars.
You better believe it.
Insurance.
You better believe it. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's a little tight for somebody making $138. I mean, if you guys can determine that, and he's just saying this is a nice emergency fund, leave it alone, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay. So I think you're being a little, I wouldn't want you that thin. With the kind of money you guys make, I'd probably want to leave 20 in there anyway as a minimum, which means you're throwing 6 at it. Whether you throw 6 or 10 at it, it doesn't change the equation much. How much are you paying on the mortgage a year extra?
Oh, $27.34. I just my husband gets paid every other week, so I just put an extra mortgage, maybe extra 2 mortgage a month.
Okay, $2,734 a year, a month?
A month.
Extra.
That's
above your payment.
I know. And
okay, so that's $30,000, all right? And so at your current rate, you are debt-free in 3 years.
That's too long.
If you pay $10,000 of your $26,000 on this, you're debt-free in 2 years and 11 months.
Okay. Well, I'll just leave it alone.
I mean, it doesn't. That's my point. It doesn't move the needle much. It might be 10 months, but I mean, it doesn't move the needle. It doesn't get you out of debt a year sooner. Now, if you called me up and you had $86,000 in there, and you said, "Hey, I'm going to pay this. I'm going to keep 20. I'm going to throw 66 at this thing," that would move the needle. Number one.
Okay.
Number two, I'd be going, "Yeah, you have too much in your emergency fund. It's fat."
Okay.
But I think you're just goal bound. You're just going. You go for it, girl. I love you. You're amazing. You lay your ears back and head into stuff, man. You go for it. So I like your style. I'm going to side with your husband on this. I'm going to probably keep the 26 there and that's my reasons. Do they make sense to you?
Okay. It makes sense.
And I think you're going to be out of debt in 3 years, and I can't wait to hear from you for your debt-free scream house and everything. Yeah. Natalie's in Houston. Hi, Natalie. How are you?
Good, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Hey, I actually have a business question for you. And I'm calling kind of at the risk of possibly sounding dumb, and I hope you don't make fun of me here, but because my question is so basic. But it's something that I really struggle with.
Okay.
And I listen to your podcast every single day, and I figure they work with a lot of small business owners, and so maybe you could help me out.
I'll try.
I run a small business from my home. It's set up as an S corporation, and I keep the books very, very good. I have separate business and personal books, and I keep everything in an Excel spreadsheet, and so I know exactly where my expenses are. But what I really struggle with is actually keeping my paper receipts. And I'm concerned that now that my business is becoming a lot more profitable, that like if we were to get an audit or something, that I would be in trouble because I reconcile with my bank statement every 2 or 3 days. I put my numbers into my spreadsheet, but I don't always keep the paper receipts. And so, I don't know, your other systems helped us so much get completely out of debt. And I'm wondering if perhaps you have any suggestions or a system that you've seen works really good for actually keeping those paper copies.
Yeah. To start with, it's not a dumb question at all. It's a great question for somebody with a cottage-level micro business getting started. And what you mean is you're purchasing supplies with a debit card, right?
Yeah, with the debit card, or sometimes I might order things online, so I would need to print out the receipt on my printer, and it's hooked up to my computer. And I have 2 small kids that are in the business from home. But this year in revenue, it looks like we're probably going to be, if we're on track, to bring in about $150,000 in revenue, and my expenses are only like 15%.
Great.
And,
great, congratulations. What I would do is this. I would guess, since you're so diligent about making sure the books are kept, that you do that at a certain time. I mean, you sit down for an hour a week or whatever and do it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. When you're doing that, hook up the printer and hit print on the bank statement and open up your email file that you've put for online orders, and you drop all your online orders in the email file and open it up and hit print as you're doing your books. And if you keep a copy of your bank statement, which will have the actual expenditure, you know, you bought supplies at, I don't know, Home Depot or wherever you bought them, right? It'll show up on there, and you just highlight the expenses that you posted into your business and what they were for, and you know, and throw those in a file in case there's an audit. But that would be more than anyone else would have. 90-something% of the time that a small business gets audited, they do not have all the receipts. That does not necessarily invalidate the expense, but you have to have some kind of a proof that the expense occurred and a pattern showing it. In other words, if you buy $2,000 a month from a certain place and you don't have a receipt 1 month for that, but you've got it for the other months, you know, there's a pattern established, and you usually can survive an audit on that process. But that's what I would do. I would just... Would you just get like a little file folder, or like a manila envelope? I know it sounds so basic. No, I would. I would just get a little folder. Really, you know, where you keep your other miscellaneous paperwork, just put a file in there that just says receipts. And you could even label them by month and just get a folder each month and hit print, or by quarter, or by year. You know, but if all 12 of your bank statements for 1 year are in there and they're highlighted, and it took you 5 minutes to do that while you're doing your books, and you hit print on all of your miscellaneous emailed orders, because they usually send you a confirmation back with the dollar amount on it. And I always just store those and just to make sure I get an order on something I'm personally ordering. And I've got an email folder that's got that in there already. And you can do that with hard paper then if you want to make sure you're okay.
Crop News headlines on California Ag Today. I'm Brian German. Kevin Severns is the general manager at Orange Cove Sanger Citrus Association and also serves as chairman of California Citrus Mutual based in Exeter. He talked about the significance of West Coast ports reopening after a lengthy slowdown.
We also know that it's going to take quite some time for this situation to rectify itself, and it isn't as if all of our troubles are over. We've lost quite a bit, both in terms of overall potential grower return, the decline in our fruit quality, and also the folks that work for us and the hours that they haven't put in because of this slowdown.
Severns also noted what the expected turnaround time is going to be to get the citrus industry back on track.
There's varying reports of that, and time will tell, but we've heard anything from 6 weeks to 3 months. Hard to say at this point. We're certainly hoping for the shorter term, but we're bracing ourselves that it might take a little longer than that. We have seen an uptick in orders, but the one thing we're concerned about is with the amount of volume that's at the ports right now, are we still going to run into delays with a crop that's much older than it was when this whole mess started to begin with?
More from Kevin Severns after this.
If you haven't heard of Kcaa or Calibrate from Agriculture Liquid Fertilizers, it's time you do. These fertilizers are taking California fruit, vegetable, and nut production by storm. Calibrate for the soil and Kcaa for foliar allows you to feed your crops highly effective potassium when and where you need it most. Better for your crop, better for the environment, better for your bottom line. Visit agroliquid.com to find a dealer near you.
Because of the length of the slowdown, Severns mentioned his concern for the condition of the crops.
We're concerned about how well that fruit is going to hold up in shipment. It tastes wonderful. The upside is also part of the downside. The internal maturity is fantastic, but also it's beginning to show its age on the outside. And the assumption is if it looks pretty on the outside, it must be good on the inside. Well, that's not always the case with citrus. You can have not so pretty on the outside and have fantastic on the inside.
Severns also mentioned just how impacting the port slowdown was on exports.
We have gone to certain measures to mitigate the situation. My particular packing house belongs to the Sunkist Cooperative, and we've been shipping some of our fruit through a different arrangement through Port Hueneme. That's been very helpful, but it still has been very difficult, as I'd say overall our normal exports were down by about 2/3.
And there's always more news at CaliforniaAgToday.com. You're listening to California Ag Today.
Come visit the all-new Tiger Trail at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Get an early start and have a bountiful buffet breakfast at Tiger Trail's Sambutan Longhouse while watching these majestic creatures. A tiger keeper will be on hand to share stories about these fascinating felines and will invite one of the tigers to join the session. Then explore the Tiger Trail's 5.2 acres, watch the tigers climb rocks, swim in ponds, and nap in tall grasses. See these beautiful animals up close, all at the new Tiger Trail at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Go to San Diego Zoo SafariPark.org.
If you can't seem to stay ahead of your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt, medical bills, and department store debt forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. This program has been used by thousands to legally forgive millions in unsecured debt. It's not bankruptcy. It's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven from what you owe your creditors. Call for free information and get all your questions answered in the first free call. The more you owe, the more you can save. If you have at least $10,000 or more in credit card bills, this debt forgiveness program can be very effective. Call for free information and find out more now. 800-546-2909. There is no cost or obligation for the information. Don't wait. Call 800-546-2909. That's 800-546-2909. Get your debt problem solved. Call 800-546-2909 today.
This is Kcaa.
Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you are here. Listen up, guys. If you've struggled with budgeting, I got some really good news. You need to experience every dollar. This makes budgeting super easy, even fun. Yeah, I said fun. I said fun and budgeting in the same sentence. I really did that right here on the radio. That's legal. That sounds like an oxymoron because most people don't like to do a budget, and they think it's time-consuming, it's restrictive. It's not. One of the ladies doing Every Dollar said a great saying, and I'm going to steal it. I'm actually going to make it a marketing routine. She said, I got to buy something. You know why? Because my budget told me I could. You understand what that means? That means that by being in control and having a plan, she was able to purchase something that she had planned to purchase without feeling any guilt and not wondering if she spent the freaking food money. Or wondering if her lights are going to cut off because she bought that. My budget told me I could. In other words, she gave herself some parameters, and then within that parameters, she knew what she was supposed to do. So the past few weeks have been just straight up unreal. We've got 300,000 people using EveryDollar already, and it just came out. Because it's free, people are winning. You can set up your budget in just about 10 minutes. It follows the baby steps. It does everything you want it to do. It's free. You can get a free iPhone app once you've set it up, and you can track stuff with your iPhone app once it's set up. Android users, we are working on your app, but your computer doesn't care what kind of phone you have. You can set up your EveryDollar now, and then later, when we add the Android app, you'll be able to access it because you set it up with your computer anyway, and most people do their budget with a computer. Hello. So go to everydollar.com, sign up for free. Now, if you want to connect to your bank and have the your debit card and that kind of stuff downloaded automatically, you can do that. The bank system that we use charges us to do that. And so we're going to pass the fee on to you on that if you want that. If you want to be free, that's fine. Just use it for free. But if you want to connect to the bank, there's a fee to do that part. So know that going in. It's worth it, though. It's like $100 a year. It's not that much, and it makes it really sing. As you look down your iPhone, and there's a charge there for where you went out and bought a hamburger, and you just grab that with your finger and slide it up on your iPhone up into the restaurant column of your EveryDollar budget. Boom. Money just allocated. The best way to track this stuff. Absolutely incredible. Paul's with us in Indianapolis. Hey, Paul, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
My problem is my wife. She has her house when we got married, and I like to sell it and get out of debt, and she liked to keep it.
Why? So
we had it rented for the last 7 years, and it's basically paid for what we have to put in it since the people moved out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 4,000 square foot house, so the floor coverings cost quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so we broke even on that, other than it's been paying the mortgage down for 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so why does she want to keep it?
It's sentimental, I think.
Okay. It was from her first husband?
No.
Her family?
No, it was just that she felt like God told her to buy that house.
Okay. Did God tell her to marry you?
I hope so.
I'm being facetious because when she married you, she moved on with her life past that house. And I don't think God told her to keep the house in the family for 73 generations.
Mm-hmm.
I would question her on that from a spiritual perspective. I doubt it. That house was there. It was a blessing for the season. I don't doubt God told her to buy it. I do doubt he told her to keep it. How's that?
Yes.
And I think it's reasonable to talk about that kind of stuff. So I would ask her, okay, why is it you're wanting to keep it? If it's on an investment basis, you've already covered, it's not carrying its weight. It's not worth the trouble from the investment perspective. If it's for sentimental reasons, let's talk that through. Because I'm pretty sentimental about having my house paid off. And selling this thing could have both of our futures set in this house. Now, if you want to sell both of them and us buy another one with the sale from both of them, we can look at that. But we need to move.
Investment.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Back to the investment, though. I mean, it's paid the mortgage for 7 years, but I know from other rental property that you can get a bad apple, and like the guy that called before, he's $600,000 down. It's scary.
Yeah, you're carrying debt over there that you don't need to carry. You've got equity over there that would help you pay off your current home. I don't think there's a case to be made to keep this as an investment. If I were in your shoes,
my house is paid for.
I thought you were selling it. Oh, you're selling it to get rid of that debt.
Yes.
How much is owed on it?
$130.
What's your household income?
We make $215 a year.
Okay. Why don't you just pay it off and keep it as a rental?
Well, that was the question.
Is it a bad rental? Or you don't want rental property?
No, it's in a very nice area. It's in a very nice area. It's just it's debt. And I thought, you're just against debt.
I am, but you make $215,000. How long will it take you to pay off $130? A couple years max. If you wanted to own a rental property and you wanted to own a rental property in that neighborhood, your numbers give us the ability to clear that debt very, very quickly and keep it. But I thought you were selling it. I misunderstood. I thought you were selling it in order to pay off your current home, and you're saying you're debt-free except this rental. Right?
I have a business loan which you've instructed not to borrow against your 401k, and I bought a backhoe. I owe 16.5 on it, but it's actually yielding 33%.
Yeah, I don't care what it's yielding. Get it paid off. You're making $215 net profit, taxable income?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, get that paid off. That's silly. All right. Back to the house. If you guys want to keep, if you can come to a meeting of the minds, you want to keep rental property, and you decide this is not a bad rental property, then I would get about the business of paying it off. You make a lot of money. You've got the ability to clear the backhoe debt, clear the 130 mortgage on that, and keep it. That's fine. I would not keep it because of sentimental reasons. I don't buy that. It's rental property at this stage of the game. I don't get sentimental about rental property, for God's sakes. The home Sharon and I raised our kids in is now a rental house, and when I get ready to sell it, I'm going to sell it. It's a house. Okay. Now, if you decide you don't like rental property or you don't like that property as a rental property, then you've got another discussion, and that's a reason to sell it. Also, do you have to sell it for you to get out of debt? No. You guys just got to point your big guns that you've got at these two little debts and knock them out if you want to keep it. So that's the conclusion on that. Thanks for the call. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Adam is on Facebook. Dave, what's your opinion of annual renewable term life insurance? I wouldn't buy it. It is the most pure form of life insurance. Because, see, basically, statistically, every year older that you are more likely to die. And so the cost to cover you, the statistical probability of your death going up, the cost to cover you goes up every year. So annual renewable term goes up every year. And so it's more reflective of your actual insurance costs than any other kind of life insurance. The rest of it has some kind of an averaging process built into it. And so it's not necessarily the cheapest, but it's the most reflective in a given moment of your actual cost to cover you. But if you hold an annual renewable for 20 years, it goes up every year. For 20 years, it goes up 20 times. If you took the average of that and bought a 20-year level term, you would have a cost on your 20-year level term substantially less than the average. And the reason is it costs insurance companies money to put these policies on the books, called commissions and marketing fees. And they don't. An annual renewable term doesn't stay on the books very well. In the insurance business, that's called persistence. They're not very persistent policies. They don't stick on the books. So people cancel them, so they've got a lot of marketing costs built into them that a 20-year average rate of, or 20-year level rate of, 20-year level term does not have. So go to Zander Insurance, ZANDER Insurance.com. Get a quick, easy quote on 15 or 20-year level term insurance. That's the best buy.
Welcome to AT&T. Hi, can you tell us more about rollover data?
Yeah, what do we have to do?
Not a thing. If you're a Mobile Share Value customer, your unused plan data automatically rolls over for 1 month. It's our way of saying thanks.
That's so wonderful.
Let's hug.
Oh, that's okay. We don't have to.
I think we do.
Yeah, I think we do.
Nice.
Let's bring it in. Oh, wow. And we're hugging. All three of us. Really hugging. Ooh, who smells like bacon?
Introducing AT&T Rollover Data. All Mobile Share Value plans now come with rollover data on the network with the nation's strongest LTE signal. AT&T, mobilizing your world. AT&T reminds you to never text and drive. It can wait.
Available only with AT&T Mobile Share Value plans. Rollover data automatically expires after 1 month or with any plan change. Other restrictions apply. Visit att.com/rollover data for details. Signal strength claim based only on average LTE signal strength for national carriers.
California Headline News calls for calm here in California in the wake of the violent police brutality demonstrations in Baltimore. Community leaders in places like L.A. pleading for peace.
We just want to remind our community and our faith-based leaders that this is not Baltimore, this is Los Angeles.
and we have a great relationship with law enforcement, and we're very happy with the work we've done so far.
But there were about a half dozen arrests in the L.A. area last night as small groups of demonstrators took to the streets. The L.A. Police Department on blue alert amid concern the gangs had supposedly ordered hits on officers. Hours-long barricade situation in Carmichael, a man apparently shooting and critically injuring a woman in a neighborhood there before going inside a residence. A neighbor describes what happened.
I heard 6 gunshots, a lady screaming bloody murder pretty much for her life, running out of her house, the mailman trying to protect her and block her from getting shot.
The suspect eventually surrendering. Police say he fired several shots at responding officers. Geico weather, more warm, dry, and windy conditions over much of the state. Jeff Scott, California News.
Here's a crazy idea from Cash Call Mortgage. Take the mortgage you closed in the last year and look at redoing it at today's 15-year fixed 2.875% rate and APR with no closing costs. Just call 877-890-CASH, and with no cost or obligation, we'll tell you how much your payment could drop with the do-over refi. And you won't pay any points, deposits, or fees. None. It's so easy. Just do the regular paperwork, most of which you already did for your last refi, and we'll do the rest. So make the cash call at 877-890-CASH for today's 15-year fixed 2.875% rate and APR with absolutely no closing costs. The do-over refi, only from Cash Call Mortgage. Call 877-890-CASH and see for yourself.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. Equal Housing Lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Rates may change without notice. California Department of Business Oversight. Residential Mortgage Lender Law License 4131083. NMLS 128231.
That's 877-890-CASH.
This is KCAA.
Are you particular about the vitamins and supplements you take? Have you found that the big chain stores simply don't have what you need? Then you should know about the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. You'll find rock-bottom prices on gourmet, top-quality vitamins and mineral supplements at the Vitamin Center. Get 30% off on all supplements and homeopathic products. All, not just selected merchandise. In addition, you'll find 30% off on all cosmetics, soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, makeup, hair coloring, and lip gloss. And all tea products are discounted 20%. Why go anywhere else? See for yourself at the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills, 5007 Canaan Road in Agora Hills. Or check out the savings and place your order online, VitaminCenterAgoraHills.com. Start saving by getting what you need from the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. And tell a friend that the Vitamin Center ships nationwide. Call 818-707-0005. That's 818-707-0005. The Vitamin Center of Agora Hills.
If you're like most, your trust in traditional financial advice has taken a big hit in the last few years. So when it comes to your money, investment, and retirement planning, where do you turn now? Who do you listen to? Join us for Smart Money Talk Radio, Mondays from 3 to 4 p.m. for the refreshing, straightforward money and investment strategies of Jim and Lorraine Conaway. With over 44 years of combined experience, the Conaways are here to educate you on how to be smart with your money. Securities offered through J.P. Turner & Company, LLC. Member SIPC.
Is something driving you crazy? Is someone driving you crazy? There's no one to listen to you? Sure there is. KCAA 1050 is here for you. When something's bugging you, call and rant at 909-353-1050. We know how it feels when you hold back those thoughts, and it's not healthy to keep them inside. You need to get it out. So rant. Call us and you can rant about anything from your husband not putting down the toilet seat to the cost of food at the grocery store to local laws and regulations getting in your way. How about the road work on the freeways? Trying to stay in between those white lines? But which white lines? It's so hard to tell. It's enough to drive you crazy. Oh, but that's my rant. We want to hear from you, and you need someone to listen, so it's your chance. Rant, 909-353-1050. Leave us your rant, and we'll either play it back or we'll read it on the air if you don't want your voice on the radio. But whatever you do, don't hold on to those suppressed thoughts. Rant, rant, rant. Call 909-353-1050 and leave us your rant at the station that leaves no listener behind. KCAA 1050.
Main cafeteria just outside of our radio studio. Get a little hungry during the afternoon. I'm talking all the time. I need a little nourishment. So I'm going to turn around and get a little snack for myself while you sit back and enjoy more of the show you love, The Dave Ramsey Show.
Thank you for joining us, America. We're so glad you're here. We appreciate you hanging out. This is the Dave Ramsey Show, where we give you the same financial advice your grandmother would, only we keep our teeth in. You know, I started saying that almost 20 years now. I'm a grandpa, so I got to be careful with that one. That's a little scary. But there you go. Hey, did you guys know that we have, I got 500 folks working on our team here. Actually, 478 or something like that this week. Not quite 500, but close. And did you guys know that like over 100 of them are tech people, meaning web programmers, senior Ruby people, architects, enterprise, sysops, sysadmins, all these kinds of things. I don't even know what any of that means, but we got them. Yeah, we've got Java developers, Ruby developers, enterprise architects, front-end developers, back-end developers. It's pretty impressive. I'm pretty impressed with our people here. It's something else. So, you know, it's just fun, and I'm really doing a better job of leading it because in the past 6 months or so, I've actually learned what most of these people do. I joke around and say I don't know what they do. I really don't know what they tactically do, but I do know what they do now. And I didn't even know that 6 months ago. I'm learning because we're hiring like crazy in this tech side. So many of our products now are digital, with ebooks, with delivery on MP3, with, you know, all the iHeart stuff we've got going, all the podcasts that we have going, all the Every Dollar, the huge Every Dollar launch, all of this kinds of stuff. We've got tons. I mean, we got apps. We got 20 websites going. We're developing all these different apps behind the scenes. You guys, you know, the things we don't present them to you guys in the public until they're done, or at least version 1.0 is done, right? But tons of jobs available. We're hiring about 150 folks this year. 157 were on the board to hire, and a lot of those are tech positions. So if you want to find out about jobs, just go to DaveRamsey.com. On the right-hand side of the website, you'll see a little Dave's Hiring tab. Click on that, and it even kind of breaks it down for you as to which types of jobs we're hiring for, and if you want to be in marketing or you want to be in that. Now, listen, don't come over here just trying to collect money for a job. We won't hire you. But if you want to get involved with some really smart people, and I've got some people here that are so much smarter than me. I sit in these meetings, I'm so impressed. And you want to get involved with some really smart people that are doing some work that actually matters, how would you like to be contributing to some of these debt-free screams? How would you like to be contributing to some of the things that we do that cause those people to be able to do those debt-free screams? See, someone wrote that code. That's actually code that matters. And you know you're part of it because we show you exactly what you're doing. You get to, you know, you actually have 2 or 3 things that are key elements of Every Dollar came from our programmer guys making suggestions because we actually listened to their suggestions. I know that's novel, and most people don't do that. Oh, and we don't work 80 hours a week either. Everybody goes home here at 5:30. You got families. The Bible says God gives to those He loves while they sleep. So we've won Best Place to Work in Nashville 8 years. That's pretty cool. So check it out, DaveRamsey.com. Click on Dave's Hiring, because we are. Victoria is with us in Lexington, Kentucky. Hi, Victoria. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing well. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Well, I just have a scenario my husband and I are considering to do with our money later in the year. Just wanted to get your opinion on it. Okay. He is considering a job change, so that will be moving from this company, going to another one. He's applying now. Mm-hmm. And we're on step 2 of the baby steps. And so our thought was, should we cash in his retirement and pay off our student loan, which basically the retirement he's invested so far would pay that off. We're still young. He's 30. I feel like I see pros and cons both ways. Just wondered your opinion.
Well, how much money is involved?
Right. The student loan that we're talking about is $30,000, okay. And like I said, the retirement balance is about that. Okay. The only other debt we have is our house. Okay. When you pull the $30,000 out of your 401k, if he changes jobs, you'll be charged a 10% penalty plus your tax rate. What's your household income? It's about $33,000, just over that. Okay, so you're in a 20% tax bracket, plus a 10% penalty, so you're going to be hit for 30%. So $10,000 of the $30,000 will go to the government in penalties and taxes. Okay.
So it's kind of like asking me, Dave, I want to pay off our student loans and I want to borrow money at 30% interest to do that.
Right.
We wouldn't do that, would we?
No, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So I tell people never cash out your retirement account to pay off debt unless it's to avoid a foreclosure or a bankruptcy, and you're certainly not facing that.
No.
But the new job's going to pay more, and we're going to be able to attack the student loan, and we'll quit adding to the 401k until we get the student loan knocked out, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks for the call.
Thanks.
Michelle's with us in Fresno. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Well, we are currently renting, and we were in baby step 2. We live pretty far out in the country, and my husband has recently been working out of state. And so I've been looking everywhere for a house in town, and we finally found one, and we both really liked it. And last week was our 10th wedding anniversary, and my husband's grandparents blessed us with paying off all of the rest of our debt.
Yay!
So now we're totally debt-free. Yes, definitely. So now I'm like, do I still move? Because I'm so much closer to saving. Now we're in baby step 3, and then saving up to buy a home again.
Mm-hmm. So how much would the rent? How much would the rent be if you moved into town?
Well, it would go up $200. So we pay.
Okay, and what's your household income?
It's right at about $100,000.
And how much does it change your life to move into town?
Oh, it makes it a lot easier and more convenient for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's 2% of your income. If you pay $200 more in rent, that's $2,400 a month on $100,000. That's 2.4% of your income. Whoopee, move to town.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Dave.
Do you see how I did that?
Yeah, I never even thought of it like that.
Yeah, if you told me you were going to increase your expenses $20,000 a year, 20% of your income, see, that would actually slow down your ability to buy that other house a whole lot, and we might talk about staying in the country. You follow that?
Yes.
So that's how I did that. Thanks for the call. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Troy is on Twitter. What are some tips for finding a reliable used car? Ooh, that's a good one. Well, I'll give you a couple of tips once you find one. Number one, I would start test driving the type of car that you think you want. Even if it's not a place you're going to buy it, go buy some used car lots and get on the, get out there and drive that type of car and make sure it drives okay and it generally feels pretty good. Second thing is jump online and start reading reviews on that car as far as that model's reliability. Does that particular car have a good Consumer Reports rating on its reliability, or does it have a really bad breakdown, type of thing? So how reliable are they? Because some things are there's a lot of mythology out there put out by the car companies about how reliable their cars are, and it's just not true when it gets out here on the actual street and you actually look at it. So you read, you test drive, then once you actually find a car, go ahead and have talked to a local mechanic about doing a review of the car for you and what they would charge you to do an inspection, and ask the owner, if you really want to dig into it, if you can pay to have the oil changed, and let your mechanic look at the oil. And if they want to do an analysis on the oil, they can learn all kinds of stuff. Might be a little expensive, might not be if you can find somebody to do it. But redneck way of doing it, you stick your fingers down in it and you see if there's shavings in the oil, and you see, how black it is and how messed up it is, how damaged the oil is, because that tells you how the engine's running.
With other companies, I always felt I was not kept in the loop. So coming to the final day at signing, I wasn't sure exactly what was going on. I just knew I had to sign a bunch of papers. But with Churchill Mortgage, I knew exactly what was expected of me and what was going to happen. There was no surprises.
Call Churchill Mortgage today or visit us online to discover why we're the only mortgage company Dave Ramsey has ever endorsed.
This is KCAA.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that there is no one path right for everyone. I've learned that without my high school diploma, I can only do so much. My options were limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that has a flexible schedule so I could keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found new career training opportunities that would jumpstart my future. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN4LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
If you're like most, your trust in traditional financial advice has taken a big hit in the last few years. So when it comes to your money, investment, and retirement planning, where do you turn now? Who do you listen to? Join us for Smart Money Talk Radio, Mondays from 3 to 4 p.m. for the refreshing, straightforward money and investment strategies of Jim and Lorraine Conaway. With over 44 years of combined experience, the Conaways are here to educate you on how to be smart with your money. Securities offered through J.P. Turner & Company, LLC. Member SIPC.
In a world of boring talk, misinformation, and mindless chatter, two superheroes emerge.
Okay, that sounded manly.
No, you gotta be kidding me.
Let's go!
The action.
Fridays just got fabulous! Here on KCAA, get ready to pour yourself your favorite beverage and kick it with Ben and Alexander right here on the Happy Hour. Every Friday evening at 6 on KCAA, 1050 AM.
If you are facing criminal charges, your entire future is at stake. You need to act now to protect your job, your family, and your freedom. Call Wallen and Claridge at 877-4NO-JAIL. Wallen and Claridge has over 30 years of experience in fighting for our clients' rights. With local offices in Riverside and San Bernardino, we are here to help you now. Call 877-4NO-JAIL or go to WKLaw.com. How much is your freedom worth? Call 877-466-5245. The call is free. Will you be?
KCAA, where every day is a great day. KCAA, Loma Linda.
Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you are here. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. 10, 15, 25% is the kind of great savings that you'll discover all through April at Blinds.com. Visit right now for really great prices with their really friendly experts. They're good folks. Blinds.com. Their prices crush what you find at the stores. Lisa sends us our question from North Carolina. My son was attacked by a dog and had to have surgery. We've settled with our neighbor's insurance company and now need to put together a structured settlement and decide on disbursement of funds. He can start to receive funds from this settlement at age 18. Is an annuity the best option for this situation? No. Annuities don't pay very well. And I don't know why you're doing a structured settlement, why a lump sum wouldn't do. I prefer to not have an insurance company ruling your son's life. I prefer for you and your son to be ruling your son's life. And so I'm not a fan of structured settlements if you can avoid it. Structured settlements actually end up to the benefit of the insurance company, meaning they get to keep their money longer. Therefore, you are not earning a rate of return on that money during that time. So the sooner you can get the money, the more valuable the money is. That's called the present value of money versus the future value of money. In other words, would you rather have $100,000 today or $100,000 5 years from now? You'd rather have it today because of the interest and the income you could earn on the $100,000 during that 5 years. Would be substantial. As a matter of fact, invested in a good growth stock mutual fund, if the difference in now and 7 years from now is double. 100 a day is 200 7 years from now at 12%. So I'm not a fan of structured settlements. They generally favor the insurance company, and you need to have a financial person, run some calculations with you and determine. And I don't know where you've done. You may have already settled this. You may have already set it up. If it's done, it's done. But don't take it as an annuity. Take it just as cash payments beginning at 18, and then you all decide together how to manage those cash payments best for his future. Hopefully, the damage wasn't permanent. This is more of a punitive settlement than it is. Hopefully your son wasn't permanently harmed, and his income isn't permanently affected by this attack. That's very sad. Christine is with us in Denver. Hi, Christine. How are you?
I am well, Mr. Ramsey. It's a pleasure to speak to you today.
You too. What's up?
Thank you. I have a question about life insurance. I am a 44-year-old single woman, not married, well, obviously, no children. I currently have $100,000 through my employer, and I'm wondering if I should get some additional life insurance. I'm still optimistic that I may get married and have kids down the line, and I know it becomes a little bit more difficult to get insured as you age.
I wouldn't buy car insurance without a car.
Okay.
And I wouldn't buy life insurance until there's an actual need.
Okay.
And I wouldn't buy nursing home insurance until you're 60 because the chances of needing long-term care insurance before you're 60 is almost zero. So I would just cross that bridge when I get to it, in other words.
Okay.
And here's the thing. The life insurance is only there to offset the loss of your income in the event you don't have assets to take care of it. So if you've saved enough and invested enough, for instance, let's just make up a number. Let's say you had $800,000 in your 401k. I just made that up, okay?
Okay.
Let's just say you did that. And then you had children and you passed away. Well, the need for life insurance would be greatly diminished, if not completely done away with, because your assets would produce enough income to offset the loss of income to your family. Does that make sense?
It does.
You become self-insured. And since you've been single all these years, my guess is, and just listening to you and the fact that you asked this question, you've probably been a pretty good saver, have you not?
Well, not exactly. I'm working the baby steps right now. I'm on step 2, so I'm optimistic. You know what I mean? I think I'm getting my act together. So
that's good. Okay. Well, even then, I still would say let's cross that bridge when you get to it. I would not buy life insurance. I'd keep the $100K you got at work. Would not go buy life insurance to cover a family that you do not yet have. And when that occurs, then I would look at getting it. And and just knowing that it is going to be more expensive the older you are, and you have some chance of the loss of your your insurability, but that's something we all face as we all age. That doesn't change the situation here. No, I wouldn't buy life insurance. Scott's in Evansville. Hi, Scott. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Ramsey. How are you, sir?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Good. I think it's a two-part question. I teach senior government and economics, and about twice a year, I kind of get a fire under my butt. And when we're talking about credit, we're talking about, finances and retirement. And so I got all of my wife's old investments from her former jobs, 401ks, and I want to see if, one, I did a step right, and then, two, what I should do with this other step, because I'm not 100% sure what to do.
Okay.
For the first one, I got transitioned into a rollover IRA. Mm-hmm. And I rolled it over into a Roth IRA, and I don't know if I did that correctly.
That's fine as long as you have the money to pay the taxes that creates.
So that'll create taxes into it?
Yeah, when you move money from a traditional to a Roth, the entire account becomes taxable. How much did you move?
Well, it went from a 401k to a Roth. I moved 4,700, 48.
Okay, so like you probably created like $1,000 in taxes.
Wonderful.
Okay. That's okay, because it's going to grow tax-free from here. If you can scrape up to 1,000, that's an okay thing to do.
Okay.
If you can't, you can flip it back before their tax time, and you won't have any taxes.
Okay. So, all right. Well, then I guess the other thing, so I don't mess the next one up, we have a 401k and it's from another job that I actually don't have any access to because it's through her old job, and I don't know if she does too.
She has access to it. If she's no longer with them, she can roll that to an IRA.
Okay. It's just not. I think it's just the website that's not letting me do it. Then.
Yeah. Yeah. She can just call HR and go, "I want to get this thing rolled, and the website's not letting me in. What do I need to do to get it rolled?"
Okay.
And then what she can do is go to our endorsed local provider or whoever does your mutual fund investing for you, fill out the forms for the mutual fund and the IRA you want it rolled into. One of the forms is called a direct transfer form. Then they'll send that directly to her former employer with the information properly filled out on it, and they will send the money directly into that mutual fund. There's no withholding. There's no anything to do the rollover. And so there's no taxes due on that at all. And I wouldn't roll that to a Roth now because of the way you hesitated over the $1,000 on the other one. I'd roll it to a traditional so we don't create any more taxes today. Later on, if you want to roll it to a Roth when you've got the money to pay the taxes, then that's an okay thing to do. Something to think about. Thanks for the call. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Nicole is on Facebook. Where is the best place to keep an emergency fund? You know, the biggest thing to remember about an emergency fund that's hard for us because we're all sitting around here talking about money is that it's not an investment. Everyone say, not an investment. Your emergency fund is not an investment. It's insurance. Insurance doesn't make you money. Insurance costs you money to protect the things that do make you money. And that's what your emergency fund is. So quit trying to make money on your emergency fund is my point. It needs to function as an emergency fund is the primary thing. If you make a little bit on it, that's fine. But you're not going to make much on it because you're going to keep it in something like a money market account, so it's going to earn 1% or less. And 1% on not much money is no money. So you're not going to get rich on your emergency fund. It's there to protect the things that you are going to build wealth with. So I keep mine in a money market account with check writing privileges. I can transfer it into my checking account online. I don't have any issues that way. It's instant if I need to move it for an emergency. It doesn't earn any money, though. It just sits there. It's ugly. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. Stocks are higher. The Dow's up 69 points. The